In this video, we're going to add navigation to our web page. Of course, we don't have other web page because this is our first one, but we will add placeholders for the navigation and then we will style the navigation. Let's get started. Going back to Dreamweaver, I'm going to change this title. I'm going to type in navigation. And I can type it either here or here. They're one and the same. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to write some lists. So the first navigation is going to be in the nav bar because that's what it's for. And then I'm going to do it in the sidebar. So I'll do it first in the nav bar. And it's just going to be an unordered list. So UL and then a list item. And the first list item is going to be home because that's what our first page is going to be. About us, products, services, and contact us. So about us, products, services, and finally contact us. And now I'll just go ahead and close the UL. So this is something that we had done before. And of course, this is HTML. We're not giving it any kind of formatting yet. Now I'll put the actual link. So href, and it's going to be equal, open quotes. This is the double quotes. And then the placeholder is the hashtag. And now close it. And then in here, right after the word home, let's go ahead and close it. So open the tag. So that's the lesser than, then the letter A, space, href equals. And then inside of the double quotes, type in a hashtag, which is the placeholder. And that's for one. Now I'm going to just copy and paste this to the other. So copy, paste, 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 and paste. And now I'll copy the closing tag, paste, 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 and paste. Right now we have a link that is a navigation list for home, about us, product, services, and contact us. Once we have the actual pages, the hashtags will be replaced by the actual URLs. I'll select that entire unordered list and I'll copy it and I'll put it in the sidebar. If I save this and we preview it, this is what it looks like. They're all jumbled up, one on top of each other. So let's go ahead and change this look, this style a little bit so that they don't look jumbled up and they look more like what we need them to look. Alrighty, and here we go. For that, we need CSS. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to format the ones from the nav bar. So right under the nav bar, which is right here, I'm going to create a new rule for the selector li navbar. So .navbar space li, open and close in the curlies. That's going to give you formatting for any list item inside of the nav bar. And here we go. That's just going to be display, inline, and block. So display, inline. That means they are not going to go one under the other, but one next to each other instead. And also block, meaning that when we do a hover, the entire space that this takes will be clickable. Remember, this is for navigation as well as for styling. I'm going to put the text in the center. So text, align, center, like that. I'm going to give it the line height, which is going to be the same height of the nav bar. So line, height, 30 pixels. And I'm going to float them left. And there you go. If we save this and preview, you can see now that they look one next to each other rather than one on top of each other, right? So, okay, it's looking a little bit better, but it's not quite what I want yet. So let's go back and keep on styling. The next thing that I need to style is the sidebar. So I'm going to go to the sidebar and I'm going to give it a selector for sidebar li, open curlies, close curlies, and now the rule goes in the middle. I'm going to make sure that it doesn't give me any kind of dot. So list, style, type, none. And I'm going to give it a little bit of padding from the left. And I'll make it 10 pixels. I think that's a good idea. This one for this one here. So I just copied and pasted. So that way the navbar li and the sidebar li do not have any kind of style type. All right, I'll go back now to the navbar li, and I'm going to create another selector here. This time for the navbar li and the a. In other words, any links that are inside of lists that are inside of the navbar. So navbar li a. So it's being very specific, or more specific than before. Let's just put it that way. And here we go. Text, decoration, none. This is going to get rid of the underline. Color, I'll make it white. Padding left, I'll make this 68 pixels. This is something that I've done before, so I know the value. And then padding right is going to be 67 pixels. Like I mentioned, I've done this before, so I know the value, but it took a little bit of experimenting with different values to get to this point. And I think I'm going to hide the overflow. This is in case something goes beyond our space, it's just going to hide it. Let me go ahead and save that, and let's preview it. As you can see, home, about us, products, services, and contact us now do look like an actual navbar. All right, let's take care of the sidebar now. So the selector has to be to dot sidebar li a. And we're going to write the rules inside of the curly brackets. So in here, all I need to do is text decoration none. I could just copy it from here. Copy, paste, text decoration none. And then I think I'm going to give it the color white. Color white. And let's save that and preview it. And there you go. So it doesn't have an underline anymore. And it is white. So let's go ahead and keep on formatting this. I think I want to give it a little bit of a distance in between the lines. So that's a line height. And I am going to put that inside of the sidebar. So inside of the sidebar, line height, I'll make it 45 pixels and see where that takes me. And that's a lot better. So there you go. We have home, about us, product, services, and contact us. And then on top, we have home, about us, product, services, and contact us. And it's starting to look a little bit better. If you hover on top of any of these words with your mouse, you're going to see that it turns into a little pointy finger, meaning that the browser is recognizing this as a clickable element. So we're good. Let's continue. The next thing that I want to do is that I want to give the user some kind of indication that they are on top of the place where they need to click. And you see those things in websites all the time. In other words, you see the background changing color, maybe the text changing color, and that's called a hover state. So buttons in general have 3 states, one for normal, one for hover, and one for active. And those are subclasses that we can use inside of CSS. So I'm going to go back to the navbar, and I'm going to create a hover state for the buttons. For that, anything inside of the navbar, so dot navbar, li, and then hover. So navbar, space, li, full colon, and then the word hover. And there you go. Open curlies, close curlies. And now we can write a background color. And I'm just going to use one of these guys. So I'll copy this and paste it here. And let's save it and go back, refresh this. And indeed, I'm getting a hover state for my buttons. Not bad. I think this is too close to the top, so I'm going to add a margin now for the container. I'll go to the container. I think I want to add a margin top of maybe 25 pixels. Let's save. There you go. So now it's a little bit lower in the page. I like that much better. All right, let's create a hover state now for the sidebar as well. I'll put it right here. So dot sidebar li full colon the word hover, open curlies, close curlies, and now we're going to put it in here. We're going to change the background color to the same color as the hover for the top nav bar. So I'm just going to copy it from here and paste it here, save it, refresh the page, and that's perfect. Very good. Now I'm going to put some kind of content inside of the header so that we can see this a little bit better. So inside of the header there, I'll just put a little paragraph. And at this point, let's talk about Lorem Ipsum, which is placeholder text. I'm sure you have seen this before in documents, in websites, in anything that needs text, but we don't know what text to put. We put placeholder text, and we put some text in Latin named Lorem Ipsum. So for that, let's go ahead and Google it. Lorem Ipsum. And you can go to any Lorem Ipsum generator and just copy that text. I'm going to copy the first part of the text. I'll paste it in here in a text document, plain text document. Now the second part, so I can have more text, and I'll just paste it there. I'll save this right inside of the website folder, and I'll call it Lorem Ipsum. And every time I need text, I can just go over here and copy it. I'll go back to Dreamweaver and put some of that Lorem Ipsum text inside of my header. So I'll just open it and copy it. And I'll copy the whole thing. Go back to Dreamweaver and I'll put it inside of the header. And then I'll end the header like that. I will also put this inside of the main content. I'm going to get rid of this is my heading and all of that. And no, I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to add a new paragraph. I'll paste the placeholder text and then I'll finish the placeholder text. Save. And there you go. So now you can see where the header is. And we can also see that we have added more text here to the body of the website. I am going to now get rid of the height that I have put in the main content. So main content has some height, there you go, of 660 pixels. I'm going to get rid of that. Save, refresh, and this is much better. All I need to do now is put some text in the footer. Let's go ahead and do that. So inside of the footer, I'll have a paragraph. So P, and it's just going to say copyright 2014 Louisa Winters, all rights reserved. Then www.louisawinters.com. I will go ahead and save that. And you can see already, no change was visible. Well, that doesn't mean it's not there. It actually is there, but it's black on black. So let's go ahead and change the color of the text inside of the footer. So in here, all I have to do is type the word color, white, and it's going to refer to the text. Text align, center. And that will put the text in the middle. Save it. And there you go. Not bad. One last thing. Line. Height. Let's give it 30 pixels. Save. And there you go. So I pushed it down a little bit and it's looking good. In the next video, we are going to discuss backgrounds and gradients. See you then.